Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and on Patreon for extra support. Any kind of updates and the such usually go out about on Twitter X. And yesterday I was perusing around my content and I did check that I completely forgot to put it on public. Old VOD of a live stream that I did on Elden Ring. It's like the episode 13 from March. I was checking around mainly because of the Alters demo playlist, demo gameplay list there. I was checking if Atomic Heart was there, and it was. Then I starting, and again, this is why it's published here. It was unlisted, but yeah, it was always there to a certain sense. It was not in public availability, let's say. But yeah, later today I will be publishing a new Midnight Suns episode, and yeah, basically that's it. So we got the complete gameplay series as usual. But yeah, let's go to the news again. Not much to talk about in variety of stuff, but we got the Game Awards. I basically had to review the footage of the live stream, let's say, but I skipped to through a lot of stuff. Again, it was a okay. I will get there. But we got yesterday the B580 review embargo lift, and this is for basically the specially limited edition, which is from Intel itself. Today I think we got the reviews from more about the AIB's partners, but they seem to be in line, and the consensus is pretty good. We got at least some good news on the low end, let's say, at least in terms of price, around the $250. Again, it performs very well comparatively to the competition, which is the 4060, the 7600. Again, the 7600 to a certain extent is out of the conversation to the point many depends on the games itself, but again, because of the price to performance, even the 4060 cannot get in the conversation at this moment in time on the entry level in terms of GPUs. It seems that everybody is on board with this, and again, the performance on the game is really excellent for the price point. Again, it really does perform very well from and upscales in terms of performance from 1080 even to 1440p. Again, I will assume in majority of cases to have playable frame rates on 1440p in higher settings, you will need to activate the upscaling technology, but it's possible to achieve good playable frame rates at 1440p, which is good news for just $250. Again, the 4060 is around 300. The 7600 is 270 something, or around that. Again, for this price point, it even outperforms quite. Regarding the 770 from Intel Alchemist. But yeah, it seems pretty good. I watched the entirety of Hardware Unbox and even from where they are, Gamers Nexus, and I give a quick glance to J2 Cents also is overall review of the GPU. And yeah, good news. Hopefully they can after January they will announce something on CES on the higher end of the spectrum, because this is basically like middle range of this generation, let's say, because the higher end is the 700 series is the higher end that what can achieve, and there is speculation taking into account of the uplift in terms of performance from this generation, given that it can with almost half or at least 75% of the XE cores that the 580 has comparative to the 770 limited edition. It seems we might have a good uplift in performance if by any chance they did manage to get did a good job on the higher end of the Battlemage. But yeah, good GPU, entry level, $250. Again, the AIBs will be a little bit more expensive. So if you really need to buy something, or you're building like an entry level system, I think this might be the one to go. There is only two complaints there in terms of drivers. There was just one issue with Cyberpunk, but I think it was eventually patched before the release here. But even in terms of driver support, I think it overwhelmingly was an uplift in terms of experience regarding Alchemist. Again, Alchemist was the starting ground. Battlemage is the improvement phase to a certain extent in terms of the software itself. I will assume that it will improve a little bit better. We probably will not see like huge gains that we see from drivers updates in terms of performance uplift, but we will see something on those lines. But because I think, from what I understand, from Hardware Unbox and even from Game and Access, there was some uplifts in performance throughout the review process when Intel was giving the like new versions of the beta drivers, let's say, for the review. There was some improvements here and there. So I will assume, even through the take out the numbers, I think, I don't know, between 5 to 10% in terms of uplift in performance with the upcoming drivers updates. But yeah, pretty good consensus. Very well recommended. Forget about 4060. It even in some cases overperforms. Again, not all cases, but some cases it overperforms 4060 Ti and even 7700 XT. But again, not all cases, but it does perform very well for the price that it's currently in on. And again, I think if you buy at 250, maybe 260 or around that price, I think this is like a no-brainer for entry level. But yeah, we'll see how the next gen in terms of GPUs of AMD and NVIDIA will respond in terms of, I don't know, uplift in terms of performance on the lower end, on the entry level, around that price point of 250. But yeah, other than that, at this moment in time, throughout the next couple of months for sure, because usually AMD and Nvidia will start launching the higher end. So I think we're only going to see something on this $250. I don't know, 5 months or so, probably. I'm not sure. Again, only after CS we will have probably a better idea when the lower end or the entry level will be launched on their lineups for this generation. But other than that, I think at this moment in time, if you manage to get it 250, this is an excellent entry point on the. If you want to build a system, or if you have even older GPU and you want to something more on the cheap side, but still manage to play good games at better details on the graphic side of things. Yeah, the only thing, again, entry level. Don't take an account too much on the ray tracing capabilities of GPUs. Again, they are not made to blow your mind in terms of processing, in terms of ray tracing. I think it's something that you only need to focus on the rasterization. Even though, again, in terms of ray tracing, it's an uplift in performance from Alchemist, but again, nothing to be amazed at, because in terms of playable frame rates, it doesn't compare itself to the rasterization results there. But yeah, good GPU, $250. Again, if you manage to get around that, it's an excellent deal, at least so far. Then we got here. I seen some stuff here more shit show coming from Assassin's Creed Shadows. Um, yeah, now they are basically want to remove, or they don't want to remove, but they are making that, I don't know, basically make a movie out of this, because they are basically removing choices, in a sense, because now, to when you play the game, you have basically a canon mode. I think it's called, yeah, canon mode, which basically makes all the canon decisions of the lore of Assassin's Creed for you. So you just, I don't know what's the point of playing a game like this. and basically makes all even if you it makes in a way that even if you're not playing in this supposed canon mode, makes all your decisions irrelevant, because to a certain extent it's all about what if scenarios. It removes the discussion of the experience itself on the game. And one of the reasons they say that they went about this again is because of the discussions that players have, or the decisions that they made, and what kind of final results are there. Um, yeah, they say that the fan base is divided. They basically said because the fan base is divided, we're going to unify them, and by making a canon mode, which removes any kind of ability for you to choose, even I think allies and the such. It basically you will have a canon throughout line, and it removes the discussion. These guys don't understand. People are divided, but they are interacting, and they are interested in discussing whatever. Again, this is going to be a shit show of a game, almost for sure. But for example, on Elden Ring, Dark Souls, these kind of games where you have branching options, you got several interpretations that people can make of certain events, and dialogues and all that jazz. That's the fun part of the post playing game kind of a phase. It keeps people engaged on the IPs, and I think one of the things that I will assume people discussed a little bit here and there on the Assassin's Creed games might be, okay, I went through this path, I find it very interesting because this and that, and the other person went for a completely different path, or very similar with some nuances in between mainly to choices, dialogue choices, or actions taken to reach a different ending, which is something that it also removed, by the way, by basically, however, and this comes from an AMA from the game directors and higher ups on the studio that are working on the game. So it's official. And basically, this thing is, however, no matter what choices you make throughout the game, it will not affect the game's ending. So it removes the besides removing the ability of replayability of a game like this, because you have basically a canon mode. It's an interactable movie to a certain point, because you just interact in the game systems a little bit until you reach the next story point, which is dictated for you, and you'll go out throughout the ending. And even if you don't choose the canon mode, the story will end either way, the same way. Again, this represents lazy writing, and or lack of capability of writing, and going about and create different endings to continue the discussion after the game is played. Something like, for example, The Witcher 3 had several multiple different endings, like main endings, and the such. Usually, good games, when they are called themselves RPGs, even if they are more action oriented or not. Usually, they tend to offer options to the players, which is something that Assassin's Creed is in dictating to players how they are supposed to play a game. Which usually for that you just watch a movie because the story is dictated to you. Even though good movies you can interpret different things, but I think here they are just going for we know what's good for you kind of mentality in terms of the gameplay, and in terms of the story, because they even also basically are rewriting previous Assassin's Creed lore. um, yeah, I think they want to change on the modern day side of things for the Assassin's Creed lore. I think they will basically try to rewrite everything. And again, this kind of decision making, again, it's doubling down on failure, and the lack of creativity, and trying to dictate to the customers how they should play, and dictating what's the best story, how you should interpret things. It doesn't leave any kind of open space to discussion, basically. So you just supposedly play the game, and one time, might as well go for Canon mode because it doesn't matter when you start introducing this kind of modes per se. It's there is only one true outline that it's uh, what it is, and independent of what you're trying to imagine that you can do on the game, it's basically invalidates that choice because it doesn't matter because it's not the truth of the lore. But yeah, it's a shit show. That it's again, I don't know. That's why they delay the game, or maybe they delay the game and they come up. Okay, if we are going to double down, let's triple down and make the game even worse with something like this. Um, but yeah, what to say? Again, the Ubisoft is in deep shit. I think that they eventually have to privatize and sell out their IPs one by one to try and make some money out of it. And uh, I think that's going to be the path, unfortunately. But yeah, it's the days that we are living in. They are very interesting. Then we got the Game Awards again. I will spend a little time here. Again, there is a lot of nominees. I didn't even pay too much attention on the live stream of the nominees. I just skipped forward. I just wanted to check the trailers. As overall experience, again, because I skipped around a lot. Again, the feeling that I had is the circle jerk, the self-aggrandizing, the Geoff Keighley trying to make it this like the Oscars kind of a thing is really it really lacks innovation on what they're trying to do here. This could be something pretty good. The Game Awards. It's been 10 years since it started the first program that they did, and the evolution is not a good sight to see. Again, all the I think they brought up Harrison Ford for the Indiana Jones games, whatever. Again, this circle jerk of the echo chamber that they're trying to approach for the Hollywood stuff there. This is not going to end up well. I think there was a lot of criticism here. Um, it's interesting that they seemingly these guys went for a lot of the Astrobot game here, which is interesting by itself, being a Sony a first party game from a French developer. Again, it seems to a lot of this. How do I say it? Se- I think this has started a few years ago from Ubisoft. There is some theories here from employees that work on Ubisoft, especially the French and Canadian kind of things here. The the progressive side of, I don't know, politics and point of views on life, or so they are call themselves like that. A lot of it started from Ubisoft, but I think mostly from Canadian studios, the Sweet Maybe Inks and all that jazz, and the trying to dictate. And it seems that there is something that I think it might we might see more stuff coming out of this from the industry, because there is a lot of connection of this kind of consultancy acronym kind of things. I think to a certain degree is affecting the Game Awards because they want to be cozy with the industry, and the industry want to be cozy with this, and then we have the Hollywood, I don't know, flashiness that they want to cozy themselves to. Again, I didn't like it. There was a lot on the live stream I noticed while I was still skipping. Star Wars Outlaws, the Dragon Age the Velguard, and EA, Ubisoft, and yeah, at least EA, Ubisoft, they were putting the brakes on the commercial brakes parts. They saying that all their games are on sale to buy, so they are really, really, really on the deep end there in terms of sales. They're not selling well, so they again they had to invest more money to pay for the Game Awards. That's my assumption, to tell that their games are on sale. Again, it's a little bit funny on that thing. But yeah, Astrobot took a lot of prizes here. Again, I'm not going for each of them. Again, mainly because of the jury, the body of juries, they removed it. Then they silently put the board of juries that are going to vote there. But yeah, not much here that is worth checking. A lot of snubs. Uh, I don't know. Balatro also won a lot of them, which I think in some categories was not the best category for them to win, mainly because it's a card game to a certain extent. So there is some limitations of what you should supposed to be nominated for and or win. But yeah, only Black Myth Wukong just won the best action game and I think voice acting or something like that. Again, then we got the best adaptation again. Then I covered this when they announced the categories. Again, I think there is a lot of stuff that it's not even worth mentioning. Like for example, content creator of the year, some the esports stuff there. It is what it is. We got the player's voice. It's from Black Myth Wukong. Basically, that's what happened there. Again, I and also as overall, like talking about the categories, I did mention that I think DLC or any kind of inspection should not be nominated for these categories. I think there should be, for example, a new category for expansion or DLC of the year or something like that. That might have some meaningful impact because Shadow of the Earth Tree is the best expansion that I ever played in any game. The expansion by itself can be almost classified as a new game, but again, it's an expansion of already a game that came out previously. I think there should be a kind of a different category for that. Um, and if you want to stretch out a little bit because of how, for example, this not season passes, this things with the multiplayers where you have like seasons and episodes or wherever you can put it also a category just to throw out there. But I think in terms of special DLC, something that it's meaningful to the game that again expands on the base game. I think there should be a different category for that or else just don't even put it there in the categories that are, I think, it removes a spot from games that came out and could have been there. But yeah, as an overall, got some stuff that interested me, mainly from trailers. But yeah, let's go to that. Got a new Ninja Gaiden Ragebound was announced from the same guys that brought us, how did they call the, goddamn it, the Blasphemous team, it seems. It's kind of, again, 2D pixel art style, kind of Ninja Gaiden of the old days. Very interesting to see. Again, all of them have the trailers here at the end of the article. We got a little bit more stuff here from Slade Aspire 2. Again, this one interested me because I like the first one. I really do enjoy it. And again, the trailer is here. Yeah, it's going to be in line with the same thing. I think we got a new class and some different relics and ways to go about and play the game for sure. Then we got also The Witcher 4 was announced, was one of those mind-blowing moments, let's say. Again, got the confirmation that Ciri or Cyrilla is the main protagonist, even though at the end of the trailer they tease out a little bit on Geralt voices on the background. Again, this is going to be the main character. It's something that was, I think, was a given to a certain extent. Character design is it's a little bit different. At first, I didn't identify her as Siri, but again, her scar is the giveaway. Um, it was in a real engine. The trailer 6 minutes or so. There is a huge error that she made in fighting the monster on the trailer. Again, you prepare yourself for battle. You don't drink potions in the middle of the battle. Basically, that's what basically happened. She went basically unprepared. I don't know if they're trying to pass a message there. She got a chain. I think it's kind of nod to the first Witcher trailer when it came out. The game, Geralt had a Witcher for the Striga, which was the princess that is saved from the curse from not Radovid, the king that was killed afterwards. I completely forgot his name, but yeah, I think it trying to make a nod out of it. I'm not sure. The only preparation that we saw was sharpening the knife. She didn't even take the potions before fighting the monster on the trailer, which is. But the mood seems similar to The Witcher 3. Again, it's a trailer. No gameplay, of course. Again, they just enter in full production mode, so I think they're trying to appease the more critical masses. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this progresses throughout the years until it comes out. But again, some minor errors there. I think Cyril should already known that you need to prepare yourself for battle in the case of the potions. I think she took cat's eye because she seemed to not see the monster. So again, if you enter in the dark space, you take the potion before you enter there. But okay, it is what it is. Then you got Elden Ring out of nowhere. Um, I don't know what to say about this. I need to check the site better. The trailer is very interesting. Again, it's Elden Ring. It's from software, even though it's going to be published by Bandai Namco. It's Elden Ring Night Rain. It seems to be a standalone multiplayer co-op thingy with action survival mode and some role-like thing aspect happening there. It has a lot of stuff mixed up with Elden Ring environments. It seems with some transformations on Limgrave and that zone there, and touches a little bit on almost Stormvale Castle zones there. In terms of the areas of the combat that they showed, it seems like you have, in terms of the co-op, is like 3 persons. It seems like you have like a not hero shooter, but it's like hero class. So you got predefined heroes, let's say. So there is not a lot of customization, and I also each hero has a defined set of skills, weapons, and classes associated with it. Very interesting. There is like a Birdman thing there. Again, this is going to be a huge shakeup in terms of how lore works to a certain extent, because this is a lot of teasing and not showing. One of the things that they showed was the Nameless King. You fight Nameless King, which is a little bit mind-boggling. Got a lot of Dark Souls there. I think we saw the Firekeeper. I think it's she called Firekeeper from Dark Souls 3. We saw gameplay mechanics very similar to Sekiro. At least it seems so. Movement is completely different from Elden Ring. You can kind of fly a hawk to traverse certain areas. Again, it's a little bit all over the place, even though it's like 2 minutes and a half trailer. But yeah, I need to delve a little bit deeper on this and to have more proper information. But yeah, the trailer went a little bit all over the place. A lot of stuff happening there. You have new bosses, different bosses from other stuff. I think there is stuff there from even from Bloodborne, or at least feels that way. Got a lot of pairing also happening on the combat there, which is very interesting. It's very Sekiro-like thing, even navigation very similar to what I see from Sekiro. And the fact that it's called Night Rain and they reference Lord of Night or Night Lord, I forget the specific specific words that they said there on the trailer, but I think Lord of Night or something like that seems to indicate that there is something that might possibly tie into Nox stuff, the Lord of Night and the summoning of the Lord of Night. Something might have screwed around there. again, but this is it's not a continuation. This is kind of a spin-off thing again. But the implication on the lore, given that it's a From Software game, it's developed by them, got a lot of Elden Ring and a lot of other stuff from other games. We'll have to see how this will break on the lore side of things. But yeah, very interesting nonetheless. Usually, this kind of games usually not for me. I usually don't like very much co-op. I like to experience things by myself. But it got me curious regardless. And it's coming out next year, which is very interesting. So Miyazaki didn't lie per se because it said they were not working on Elden Ring 2. It was very specific on calling out Elden Ring as Elden Ring 2. They were not working on that. So, or at least he was not working. So he didn't lie technically, but yeah, it's something they are going to see next year. Then we got also Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming to PC, so the port is coming on January 23. Not much else here except for the trailer for that. We got The Long Dark 2 is coming. At least it was announced. It's called Black Frost. It's coming early access in 2026, so it's still a little bit off. There is the Long Dark one. They've been working on that game still. They from time to time launch some updates and patches and all that stuff. And I think even they put out some content there, which is pretty good. It's kind of more survival game on frozen wasteland basically. There is a story mode there on the first game, and again, it's always good to see these indie games. They continue to put out work and at least continue on their own projects. And it seems that the Long Dark, the first one, is pretty good. Then we got out of nowhere, got Onimusha, a new game from Onimusha. Way of the Sword is called. It's coming out PC, but it's only for 2026. Very interesting. Got the glove here. I played Onimusha 3, if not mistaken. I think it's the game that I played a long time ago on consoles. But it's good to see that there is a new game being worked on. Very interesting. Even it seems that we had some gameplay there. Um, Again, Capcom, their engine, hopefully it's the ones being used. It seemed a little bit there, the RE engine there. Yeah, interesting. There's some actions there. Yeah, but it's basically a teaser because again, it's still a little bit ways off until this game comes. Then we got finally we got an announcement on the launch date of the first Berserker Xen is going to launch on March 27. One thing I didn't like, I think they brought up the guys that did the Avengers movies. I completely forgot their names. The whatever brothers. I think they made this trailer. I'm not sure. I just skip through that, but they were there. Again, it's basically a trailer for to announce that the game is going to launch on March 27, and demo is coming out January 16 next year. Probably I will try to play it out and introduce on my demo gameplay series. Then we got Mafia, the old country, is going to launch on summer 2025. It's interesting. Again, it's been a while since I played a Mafia game. I think I only played the first one and or maybe the second one. I'm not sure, but it's been a while. It's from the same guys that did the definitive trilogy for sure, or at least Mafia 3. I think it was Hangar 13. Yeah, the trailer is a trailer. It's called the Initiation trailer. Seems okay by me. It seems on the 1920-ish kind of a period on Italy. It seems so. It's kind of back to the roots, kind of a thing there. They had some Italian accents on the English side of things here. In even the cars, got a lot of horse riding. Even the guns are very old, so I think it's on the 20 side, on the 20ish. Yeah, 19ish Sicily. Okay. Let's see how it goes. Just give me more gameplay, and I will have a better opinion there. Then we got again finally something from Crimson Desert, a more specific launch window, which is late 2025. I will have to assume almost a year from now. You got a trailer for that. Very interesting. You're riding dragons. You got some mechanical enemies, it seems. Again, there is like a kind of sci-fi part of this, like the gates that open after the boss fights that they're being showcasing, which is teasing out stuff. But here you ride dragons. There is a mechanical dragon also, and some mechanical stuff that I just watched there. But yeah, it seems to have a lot of verticality, this world. I think they said that the world is not very huge in terms of area, but it seems to have some verticality to it, which is interesting. But yeah, I'm interested to check out this game again. I think that we'll need to see on the gameplay side of things a little bit how the crafting works, how you get a little bit of overview maybe on the ability side of things, armor stuff, what you can equip or not equip, like an overview, quick snippets at least, and a little bit more exploration, several ways that you can explore or not. But yeah, other than that, I'm hoping for this game to be pretty good. And then one of the things that was basically the last thing, Sony Interactive again, Naughty Dog announced sci-fi project Intergalactic Directed Profit for PS5. Again, we got all the diversity hit points here. Shaved Asian woman, I suppose, with a very neutral name. I think Jordan. Okay. It seemed like a commercial to a lot of brands. This is like the a Porsche spaceship. Then you got Adidas. You got even on the you got CD-ROMs from Sony, which is usually what they do here. You got here the badass shaved lady. Where is it? You got the Sony CD player stuff there. You got the sneaker branding, also branding all over the place. Again, I don't know what to tell him. Again, this is Naughty Dog. We saw the shit show that it was The Last of Us 2, how they went to the side of the acronym mafia things. And again, it's directed by Neil Druckmann itself. What else there is to say? It's been developed for 4 years now. Phew. Yeah, I don't have my hopes up for this one. Again, it was just a trailer of cinematic. It tried to give us a mood, and it didn't put me in a good mood. That's for sure. It's the same bland thing that they're throwing out there. But yeah, there was a lot more stuff happening. But again, it's the action shooter stuff there, the multiplayer games, the coddling between themselves or with actors from Hollywood and again, the Game Awards is becoming it's 3 hours of jerking off to themselves. It's the impression that got me. But yeah, I was more interesting about like new games coming out and other stuff like that more than anything. But yeah, this is what I got for you today. Some let's go for some gaming deals. We got Doom, only the first one. It's on sale at the moment, 80% off. Doom Eternal is not on sale at this moment. Again, I'm not sure why. Then we got also Resident Evil franchise now on sale. So that's that. I will have to try out these demos also one of these days. I'm on a spree of trying out demos of games that are out or are upcoming. I will leave all the Resident Evil games that are on sale here for you to check and complete your collection there. We got also Lords of the Fallen. They launched patch 1.7, but it's also on sale, so 60% off on the base game. Then we got Death Stranding Director's Cut. Again, I think this is one of the better games here. 50% off on the Director's Cut. It's the way to go. Yeah, again, when I have time, I will have to continue to stream this game. Then we got Liza P still on sale, 40% off. It's one of those that if you like Dark Souls and the such, it's one of those that it's really excellent there. Then you got Pacific Drive. It continues to be on always on my spot here, 40% off. And then we got recently, I think yesterday, it came out also, The Spirit of the Samurai. I covered a little bit this game here. It's very interesting, like the stop motion stuff there. At this moment, I have mixed reviews, around 70%, only 42 reviews, but it's got an opening discount or early bird kind of promotion here, 20% off. I will try to see if I can check any kind of more comprehensive reviews for this one to see if it's worthwhile or not. Then we got here from my library, we got Control Ultimate Edition. I already played this game around 80 hours. I did all the DLC also. Pretty good game. It's a spin on in terms of gameplay from doesn't have to do anything with Alan Wake. But yeah, I really enjoyed this game overall, and I think it's worth, especially at this price point, 80% off. I think it's a good experience. It tackles a lot of interesting themes, and again, it connects Alan Wake with this Control universe, so the Federal Bureau of Control. We got also Deus Ex Human Revolution, Director's Cut, 85% off. Then the sequel, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, 85% also. The digital deluxe edition is the better way to go, which has the season pass there. Usually it's on the cheap side, so I think it's worth it. And then lastly, we got Dead Space remake again. Especially at this price point, I completely recommend the base game, 75% off. I made a series of this game. Um, my only complaint is the transversal stuttering near doors when it's loading the level on the background. Other than that, it's how I remember on what I have on my memory playing Dead Space. They refined the of course the visuals. The gameplay is there. There is no complaints about it. I really did enjoy that. And yeah, a little bit more teases and exploration on the store side, on the story side. Sorry, but yeah, it's a faithful remake, and it keeps itself on what Dead Space was in terms of environments and the gameplay. I really did enjoy it. I only had that only complaint there, but yeah. Other than that, that's what I got for you today, guys. Here, I will just wrap up here with a plug on my Patreon for extra support. That extra support is for me to try out and see if I can manage a better storage solution so I can have backups of stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, hope you have a full day. Now I'll see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.